Good afternoon, Vancouver. I'm Mayor Anne McEnerny-Ogle, and today is Thursday, May 13th. Thank you to 7-Star and Alexander Rabininin, our American Sign Language interpreters. I'd like to start with some good news on vaccination efforts in Clark County. On May 3rd, our community hit an important milestone with more than 130,000 people, more than a quarter of our residents, have completed their vaccinations. Every week, our region makes more progress. So let's keep up the great work and encourage others to get the vaccine. In more good news, on Tuesday, the FDA expanded the emergency use authorization for the Pfizer vaccine to include youth 12 to 15 years old after a clinical trial showed the vaccine is safe and extremely effective for this age group. And yesterday, the CDC's Advisory Committee on Immunizations reviewed and voted unanimously to recommend its use. Closer to home, the Washington State Department of Health also approved the expanded COVID-19 vaccine eligibility to everyone 12 and older, following the federal recommendations. Last week, Governor Inslee announced a 2-week pause in evaluating counties for any advancements or rollbacks to the current phases of the state's reopening plan. While Clark County was still meeting the state's requirements to remain in Phase 3 at that time, the continued upward trend in case counts and new hospitalizations is reason for concern. The state's next evaluation for phase changes will take place on May 18th. As a reminder, to remain in Phase 3 of the state's reopening plan, we need to meet at least one of 2 metrics for case rates and new hospital admissions. As of this week, we're not meeting either of those. Clark County's new COVID rates are averaging 276 new cases per 100,000 people over 14 days. This is up from 250 last week. Our new hospitalization rates rose to 5.4 per 100,000 over 7 days. That's up from 3.8. Even though most of our residents have not been vaccinated, the demand for vaccination has decreased significantly in our state and across the country in recent weeks. Statewide, about 18% of the distributed vaccine supply has gone unused. With a 4th surge of the virus and several variants now sweeping across our state, I urge everyone in our community to please use the most important tool that we have available to stop the spread of this deadly virus. If you want to be vaccinated, there are still many opportunities to do so. Vaccines are safe, free, easy to find, and available to anyone now age 12 and older. You don't need an ID or health insurance to get one. The drive-through and walk-up vaccination site at Tower Mall has recently added some evening hours to make getting vaccinated even easier. Every Tuesday, the site is now open from 8:30 a.m. until 7:30 p.m. The site also continues to be open for walk-up and drive-up vaccinations on Fridays, Saturdays, and Mondays from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Please be aware that the site is closed from noon to 1 daily and from 5 to 5:30 on Tuesdays. While appointments are not required, they will speed up your wait time. You can make your appointment to receive the Pfizer vaccine at Tower Mall by visiting the link found on the Clark County Public Health's website. And if you do not have internet access or you need help scheduling an appointment, please call Clark County Public Health for assistance. In addition to extended Tower Mall hours, there are several other new options to access the vaccine. All Walmart pharmacies are now providing walk-in for Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson vaccines 7 days a week without an appointment. If you're interested in getting the single-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine, you can stop by Fruit Valley Elementary School in West Vancouver this Saturday, May 15th. Again, appointments are available from 9 to 5, or you can drop in without an appointment from 10 to 4. And finally, Clark County Public Health is now increasing mobile vaccine clinics for the unhoused at churches and service providers throughout the community. Next, even more good news was announced this week in the form of additional support for our hard-hit local businesses. The Seattle Metro Chamber of Commerce has a new REACH program, and they're sponsoring a no-cost accounting consulting services to support small businesses throughout the state. These accounting services are available to help employers navigate the numerous COVID relief programs currently available, including the new Restaurant Revitalization Fund. If you're a business in Washington with fewer than 100 employees, reach out to the Seattle Chamber to get connected to the accountants. In addition, Fourth Plane Forward has launched a third round of small business emergency grants. The program will provide $175,000 in grants to eligible small businesses located on Fourth Plane Boulevard between I-5 and Andreessen and the adjacent commercial corridors. So to learn more and apply online, do so by Friday or Wednesday, May 19th at 5 p.m. Finally, it goes without saying that the past 18 months have not been without their share of heavy burdens for students and families. And like many celebrations, graduation ceremonies will look different this year. Last weekend, Washington State University Vancouver held a drive-through graduation ceremony and a live-streamed virtual event to celebrate the commencement of more than 1,000 graduates. While much of last year was spent in a virtual learning environment, these closer to in-person events are a wonderful way for graduates and their families to celebrate from a distance. What an incredible feat for the faculty and organizers to bring it all together. Even more graduation festivities are on the way. On June 17th, Clark College will hold an in-person ceremony on campus with students and faculty. While no guests are allowed, the outdoor event will be streamed online. For our high schoolers, our seniors, Evergreen School District graduates will be celebrating with limited attendance in-person ceremonies at Mackenzie Stadium in East Vancouver. The ceremonies will also be available to view online. And families in the district should check with their high school for dates and check-in times. Vancouver Public Schools is planning for shortened, reduced size, in-person graduation ceremonies at various schools throughout the month of June. So if necessary, due to COVID-19 case rates, some Vancouver public high schools may hold drive-through ceremonies. On behalf of myself and the entire Vancouver City Council, I'd like to send a big congratulations to the class of 2021. Your efforts to complete your education and earn your degrees, despite the countless hurdles brought on by the pandemic, is an inspiration to all of us here at the City of Vancouver. Thank you for joining me for today's update. And please remember, vaccination is our best way out of the painful cycle of COVID-19 resurgence and ongoing restrictions. If you have not been vaccinated, now is the time. Once you do, make sure to encourage your family, friends, co-workers, and help others follow suit. Together we can get us back to normalcy as soon as possible. Stay well, Vancouver.